Well, guess what? Then TPUSA needs to file a Form 990. Okay. With this, they need to file this. What happened to the, oh, you put on mobile. Oh, okay, cool. So if you want to watch on mobile, we have that as well. So because they are actually, in my opinion, if you haven't seen, which I can show, but you'll take my word for it or go watch my latest video on, actually, I'll put the link in here because I have it right here. The video that is titled TPUSA Foreign Funding. I'll put it in the chat. All right. TPUSA Foreign Funding Exposed or whatever. Okay. That video, don't leave here for it. You're going to want to stick around. I'll put it right here for you. But I'll put it so you can see it because this video is very important. I think I put it in the wrong chat. Because that way you understand that this is literally being paid as a grant or contribution to a foreign government to do any business interest or financial or educational interest that is not on behalf of American interests. Now, their mission statement is different. So whatever. But the thing is, I don't agree with the fact that just because they say that they're doing something different in their mission that's not American native, why should we pay for it? Like, ask yourself that question. Why should we be paying for this lady? And that's using the word lady very nicely, okay? To slander Charlie Kirk, to give us her opinion about how the world should operate, to give us the fact that if we don't fall in line with her narrative, that Uzi might become a part of the conversation that we showed you earlier. Okay? That is not American, and people like that, in my opinion, need to get the hell out and go to your country and file all of this stuff and go and talk to your, how about your country? Isn't it a mess over there right now? Because I'm pretty sure it's a mess over there right now. So why don't you go figure out your stuff over there, get your shit in order, and then come and show us how you did it, and we can analyze it and see if you did anything, and then maybe we can take some advice. But from you spewing off hatred with evidence of working for foreign agencies on behalf of whoever is over there is not sitting well with me, obviously with Charlie or Candace or anybody else that is a true American. Andy Frisella, if you don't know MF CEO Andy Frisella, Delegate Dennison, Jesse on Fire. How many people do we have to show you? How many people do you have to watch? Coach Colin, Barron. We all are on the same page because we are patriots. Project Constitution. I have no upside to this video. He has no upside. We are literally putting a target on our backs to bring you the truth because nobody else will, because they're scared. And it's okay to be scared. I'm scared, kind of. I don't care, though, because I know what I'm supposed to do. I was sent to do this, all right?
I've said the same thing. You know, like I said, God spoke to me in a dream, and he told me this is what he wants me to do. And I'm following through with it, and that's what we're here for. We expose all these people that are not America first, all these people that are against Americans, that are pretty much using us as their piggy bank to fund their propaganda, their hate speech campaigns, to silence our free speech. They don't believe in our Constitution. They want to silence our free speech.
Yeah. I put the FARA registration. You can check in the chat. PJTN project. I don't want to go too ham on this. There's more to cover. Project for, let me see what it is. Here's the company name one more time for everybody. Proclaiming, here he is. Proclaiming. So let's do this. Boom, boom. And yeah, verify this. Verify it. I need to know. We need to know. Are you fine? Because if not, let's show all the evidence first before we move on. Of actually, do you have the direct filings and information in there that shows influence of foreign nations? Provide the dollar amount of the
I have that
alleged.
pulled up already. I can show you that.
Yeah, show it, please. I'll pull mine down.
All right.
I'm gonna have it go through and see if there's anything else as well. Looks like you got it there from Grok, right?
Yep.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so this is one of the things, and I'm sure there's a lot more. This is just the one that I've been able to found right off the bat. So Concert is Israeli government linked funding. The organization referred to as the Israeli government company Concert, or Solomon Sling is what it relates to, rebranded as Voices of Israel, established in 2017 as a public benefit company by Israel's Ministry of Strategic Affairs, later transitioned to the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs to discreetly channel government funds to pro-Israel advocacy groups worldwide, primarily to combat the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement and promote Israel's image. The setup aimed to create distance from direct government involvement. So the whole reason for setting this up was to hide direct government involvement, and partially to avoid triggering U.S. Foreign Agent Registration Act requirements, FARA. So this is them specifically trying to go around FARA for not having to register to FARA. Funding to PJTN. In January of 2020, Israel's Ministry of Strategic Affairs approved a $40,000 grant to PJTN via Concert. The funds supported PJTN's 2019 events in South Africa titled Our Shared Biblical Connection to the Holy Land, held in Johannesburg and Cape Town, co-sponsored by groups like the South African Zionist Federation and International Christian Embassy Jerusalem. PJTN denied receiving any direct funds from the Israeli government or Concert, which that's wild to me that they deny receiving these funds, because it's in black and white. You want to pull up the document real quick and then we'll continue?
You want to read it while I pull that up, because I have that
okay
website.
yeah I'll keep reading. Just let me know when you got it pulled up.
Here, I got it right here. Go ahead, and I'll just switch it while you're talking.
Concert's overall financials and operations, budget and sources. Initial plan 2017 called for 128 million shekels, which is 37 million in US dollars, from the government over 3 years, matched by private donations, so double that. In practice, only about 18 million shekels, 5 million from each government and donors, were utilized due to challenges. Total distributed. Reports indicate Concert and the ministry provided over 6.6 million to anti-BDS groups. Anti-BDS are anti-Islamic groups, by the way, since 2018. More recent efforts, 2023 through 2024, under Voices of Israel, involved at least 32 million shekels, 8.6 million, on advocacy related to the Gaza war. Challenges and disclosure. Operations face cash flow issues, difficulties raising matching funds, FARA concerns deterring U.S. partners like Laurie right there and PETN, and performance complaints. By 2020, activities were scaled back with the program restructuring under new ministry leadership. Christian Zionist evangelical groups. Christian United for Israel, CIFU delegations, Eagles Wings delegations, Israel Allies Foundation, International Christian Embassy Jerusalem. They all were the event's co-sponsors and possible funding. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. Although I will say that Concert what they did was they phased out Concert around the 2020, 2021 era. They phased them out, and now I'll just read this. Concert appears largely defunct or dormant in its original form by 2025, 2026. It was restructured around 2020 to 2022 due to, well, what we just said, foreign concerns, performance, blah, 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 whatever. And so Concert has now been replaced by a newer, more aggressive Hasbara programs, which Hasbara, like I said, that's Israeli propaganda. Israel's current influence in this space, and this is important, this is where it ties into Charlie Kirk. Israel's current influence in this space comes through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, not diaspora affairs for these ops, which ramped up massively in 2025 with a $150 million global Hasbara, which is propaganda. So $150 million propaganda budget secured in 2024. Funds start flowing from May of 2025. This includes paid influencer campaigns, trips, AI-generated content, and ads to counter anti-Israel narratives, especially on Gaza. The main active program for online influencers now is the Esther Project. And we'll do a whole episode at some point on the Esther Project, digging into this. Because like I said, this is the ecosystem that is funding the people that are attacking Candace and attacking all of us right now. Run by Bridge Partners, LLC, once again, out of Delaware, founded June 2025 by Israelis Yuri Steinenberg and Yair Levy, working via Havas Media Group's German division. And again, they do it in Delaware so they can hide who their agents are. And funded this program, this Esther Project, is funded directly by the Israeli government, the foreign ministry. With $200K for setup as the initial cost, potential up to $900,000, phased $60K up front, $140K towards development, and up to $250,000 per month for production and fees, and then $50,000 for the wrap-up stage. But what it does is they pay 14 to 18 US-based social media influencers to post 25 to 30 pieces of pro-Israeli content monthly. Payments around $6,000 to $7,000 per post. Goals: promote Israel's image, culture ties with U.S., combat anti-Semitism and misinformation about Gaza October 7th. Content must be positive. No disclaimers always used. Raising FARA violations. So they're not even, that's the thing, is all these people that are getting these $7,000 checks are not even registered under FARA. They're not disclosing that they're being paid by a foreign entity to promote this propaganda to attack Candace Owens. And that's basically what I got there. You know, we'll do a whole, like I said, we'll do a whole episode just on this at some point as well. But it ties in. I'm just pointing out that Laurie Cardoza-Moore, that she is funded by it and is a foreign agent, just like all these people attacking Candace Owens are also foreign agents.
So this is going to be, I'm going to show us a video. James Lee made a 7-minute video. If you don't know James Lee, 5149, I'll bring up his page so you can go and check him out. I highly encourage checking James Lee out. He has been raising the most awareness in the space. He was actually fired, to my knowledge, from Breaking Point's for breaking so much news about what's happening. So let's watch this video. I want to make sure that I have
I just want to point out he's one of my personal favorites too. I love his work. He's excellent. Definitely.
He is excellent.
He's got my support. Follow him.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and show this. I'm going to pull open this video. And this is going to explain all of what we're talking about is just an arm of what I think and what he has also been explaining, that Laurie Cordova, the same person that threatened Charlie with biblical prophecy, in her opinion, or however she wants to use it and interpret the Bible. This is a method of what I'm going to show you here. And the title of this video is The Secret Plan to Make You Love That Country That Starts with an I.
The headlines are already rolling in. Israel is preparing to invade Gaza and also openly talking about reigniting a war with Iran. And to sell you on both, they've just approved a propaganda budget 20 times bigger than before the war in Gaza, about $150 million to convince you and I, the American taxpayers, to fund all of it. The problem? American support for Israel is at an all-time low, even according to CNN. So Israel is right now unleashing what they're calling Hasbara 2.0, a propaganda blitz to convince you that Israel first is actually also America first.
Being pro-Israel is part of the America First platform, whether or not people want to admit it or not. It is.
There you go.
That's completely bullshit.
America.
That makes no sense. Just stop that for a second. That statement by itself is completely retarded. That's the most retarded statement I've ever heard in my life. Being pro-Israel is pro-American. America first. How is that America first? When you're talking about being pro another country, especially when we have all these problems here at home that we're worried about, how is that possibly remotely at all America first?
Well, let's play devil's advocate here. Literally devil's advocate. Let's see. Okay. People say because of the fact that, and I want to know what you think about this. Because I've asked this question and they say because they're in the heart of the Middle East fighting all of this Muslim terrorist group, and they are on behalf of the United States somehow, which I don't know because I'm not out there. They are potential. I guess that's what they're doing, is they're fighting to eradicate these radicalists. But in turn, we have to support them in order to get that to be done. So they're like doing some proxy fighting for us. What do you know about that?
Absolutely not. What they are doing is they're using us to fight their proxy wars. We don't have a beef with any of these Middle Eastern countries. We're not in the Middle East at all. We have nothing. We don't care what's happening in the Middle East. They're the ones that care because they're the ones that are making enemies in the Middle East, and they're using us to fight their wars for them, which in turn, yes, we do have a radical Muslim problem, but the problem that we face is it's caused by ourselves. You know, the fact that we allowed ourselves to be used by Israel to go in all these Middle Eastern countries and disturb these, go to war with these countries and blow them all up and destroy their countries and their economies. Of course, these people are going to hate us. We're the enemy. We're blowing up their country. So, number one, we're creating that hate ourselves. And then on top of that, when you got people like Biden, which is just importing all these people in here into the United States, all those Afghanis in here, unvetted, completely ungetted.
It's happening
you have
in
the
Canada
open borders.
too.
Yeah, then you have the open borders just pouring in through the open borders. We've created that problem ourselves. But as far as Israel's concerned, no, Israel is using us to fight their proxy wars. What happens in the Middle East really is not, other than like nuclear threats, what happens in the Middle East is not of any concern to us because we're not in the Middle East. We're in a whole different region of the world.
Tim's a bootlegger for defending us. I'm like, no.
Sorry, hold on. I'm going to play this because we did a comment, $10 super chat. That is why Tim Pool is making so much content about Candace and IHOP. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Annie. Absolutely.
He's 100% paid. Absolutely. If I'll put it this way, I'm not going to say that. I'll say I believe he's 100% paid But if he's not, then he's auditioning to be paid, because that's what you do. You have to, anybody who wants to get that sweet, sweet Israeli money, you have to first audition and show them that you can do that and you could pull in an audience.
I'll play that real quick for the super chat, but also it falls right in line. Dave Smith just rips him apart. If you haven't seen this, Coach Colin, thanks for bringing this out, because I didn't see this. I saw it on his live stream this morning.
You misunderstand.
And there's a little cursing in here. So listen to how this dude talks, bro. Tim is ridiculous, bro.
Tim's a bootlegger for defending us. I'm like, no, you misunderstand. It's my boots. It's mine. I'm wearing the boot. I'm stomping on the ground.
Tim, brother, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen in my life. This is the gayest, cringiest shit I've ever seen. You are an 8-year-old boy playing with action figures right now, but you're an adult.
You know, he's out here
broadcasting this to hundreds of thousands of people. Like, this is just so goddamn.
So that's how he acts. And everything he does, he thinks he's crushing people, and that's how they all feel. Oh, I didn't show it. Sorry, I didn't show the screen. I guess you guys didn't see it, but you probably heard it. Here, I'll play just a part of it again real quick here. What he's saying is, and this falls with everything that he does, he thinks he's some massive dude with all of this. This is crazy. Here, I'll play it again. Sorry about that.
Tim's a bootlegger for defending us. I'm like, no, you misunderstand. It's my boots. It's mine. I'm wearing the boot. I'm stomping on the ground.
Tim, brother, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen in my life. This is the gayest, cringiest shit I've ever seen. You are an 8-year-old boy playing with action figures right now, but you're an adult broadcasting this to hundreds of thousands of people. Like, this is just so goddamn. I mean, I don't know. Like, dude, this has crossed the line of, like, it's not even in political commentary anymore. You're like in some type of fetish right now. You're wearing the boot. I'm wearing the boot, and I'm crushing everybody. I crushed you, and I crushed you. Like, Tim, what the fuck are you doing right now, bro? You're spurging out. You're not crushing anyone, dude. Oh. You're sitting in the house playing video games, bro. I've seen your setup. You're not wearing any boots. You're not crushing anybody. You're not actually making any decisions. You're just simping for other men and feeling some sense of toughness somehow through it. You're not the boot, dude. You're the guy underneath the boot. So get out of this 8-year-old fantasy and let's have a conversation in reality.
Dang. So that goes. Everything that he's talking about, people feel the same way, man. I mean, the dude is simping for other people, places, and entities and governments for whatever reason that he thinks is going to help the Israel cause. And I don't.
And Dave Smith that's a great, I love that. He said it perfectly. I mean, but like everything about Tim Pool, like he's screaming, we're just Candace Owens and all of us are destroying the midterms. We're gonna blow up the midterms and get the Democrats reelected. Okay, well, we don't care about the midterms right now, straight up, honestly. Okay, because they're both parties are corrupt. Both parties are the same. It's all just an illusion. The Republican versus Democrat. They want us to play at each other, because when we're fighting each other, we're not facing the real enemies, which are these elite families that are running the world, destroying us from within. They own they own all these companies. They're funding the people in the government. They have them blackmailed, everything else through Israel, through everything else, and it's it's mind-boggling to see, but Tim doesn't understand any of that. He's thinking in the short term, and he's just repeating the talking points of the people that he's in a clique with in their ear, and what he is being paid to tell by obviously the people paying him, his sponsors, which are Israeli sponsors.
Absolutely. Let's continue on what this video is. I wanted to back it up just a little bit to her.
Israel first is actually also America first.
Being pro-Israel is part of the America First platform, whether or not people want to admit it or not. It is.
There you go. Being pro-Israel is being America first. So let's take a close look at what they're planning. So earlier this year, it was.
If you got a membership from Ed Franks, please say thank you. Thank you for the memberships, Ed. By the way, my lives go private after 72 hours for my protection and for the audiences as well. So it's 99 cents, 30% more on the app stores and Apple. So you can buy it on the browser, and it's what the price is that I put out there. What were you going to say?
And any super chats, we'll read them once we're done this. We just don't want to interrupt our flow.
Absolutely.
It's that Israel's Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar and Deputy Foreign Minister Sharon Haskell were looking for smart ways to spend $500 million on public diplomacy. And like I mentioned earlier, this new government Hasbara budget is going to be about 20 times greater than what it was before the Israel-Hamas war began in 2023. Wow. I mean, I don't know about you, but is it not just a little weird that you have to pay people, or they have to pay people, to convince Americans that we should be allies with Israel? Like, if our interests truly align, why would they need to be spending $150 million to convince us? Anyway, first pillar of the new strategy,
good point,
decentralization. So instead of just Israeli...
And that's how you know it's a psyop.
Which they still do sometimes, but with very little effect, the government will now funnel more money into, quote, independent organizations, influencers, and activists to spread the message for them. People like this.
We are at the Gaza border right now. On the other side of that fence is Gaza. About 10 minutes, we're going to go in. We're at the Kerem Shalom crossing right now, where Israel allows hundreds of trucks of food aid into Gaza every single day.
Second pillar, which is aggression, not persuasion. They say no more trying to, quote, win the hearts and minds with apologetics. The new approach is just hammering home a pro-Israel message with conviction. So think less Israel regrets civilian casualties and more, hey man, that's war, deal with it.
Yes, AIPAC has a lot of influence, but we also must have, I think, some nuance to understand that there is a large portion of the Republican Party that does believe and have a soft spot for Israel. So I have a different opinion. I've gone through this many times, but I'm not going to defend everything that Israel does.
You see, Charlie Kirk doing it right there, right? Doesn't matter that they're bombing hospitals or starving babies. That's just a part of war, and we stand with our allies, and Israel is our closest ally. Third pillar is hide the money. Israel will now fund pro-Israel PR groups in the US and in Europe through the use of what they call public benefit corporations, or PBCs. And one example of a PBC that came to light recently through an investigation from The Guardian is called Mosaic United. And it is a public benefit corporation backed by the Chikli ministry, referring to Amichai Chikli, a Likud minister in the Israeli government. And as one official puts it, in the end, you'll see a bank transfer from a PBC and not a bank transfer from the Israeli government. That's the idea. Pillar 4, highlight the Jewish religion so to make criticism feel like heresy.
Think about this. The national symbol, let's say, of Hezbollah is a rifle. That's what's on their flag. The national symbol of Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, is a sword. That's what's on their flag. The national symbol of Israel is the shield. It's the Star of David. The symbol of our people is not a weapon.
That's where they're trying to mix the two, state and religion. This is exactly part of what I think to be their Hasbara propaganda machine. And if you don't know what Hasbara is, it is literally, they give awards out for the best propaganda that one can create. All right. So this is not some made up, we're just talking out of our side of our mouths. This is literally like, if I were to go and look up what is Hasbara, right? I could literally just on the side over here, what is Hasbara? And then we'll go to the AI thing right here. Hasbara literally translates to explanation. It refers to the strategic communication and public diplomacy efforts of that state of I aimed at shaping global perception and justification at its actions to international audiences. All right.
AKA propaganda.
Yeah. Is this propaganda? Propaganda, and are there awards given for the best written or broadcast Hasbara? And then we'll go back to the video because let's see what I want to know what Google's going to tell us. Whether Hasbara is considered propaganda often depends on who is using the term. Official, where did I go? Official view. This government and its supporters define Hasbara as public explanation or diplomacy. They view it as a necessary tool to represent its perspective and counter what they see as misinformation or delegitimization. Critical view. Many scholars and critics argue that Hasbara is state-sponsored propaganda designed to justify military actions, whitewash human rights violations, and shape international opinion through selective or misleading narratives. Some sources describe modern Hasbara as a form of consciousness warfare. Awards for Hasbara. While there's no single best Hasbara award, they do have recognized given from their government. Various advocacy groups and organizations recognize contributors to pro-I communication. The Golda Awards, hosted by the Hasbara Fellowship of Canada. This ceremony honors student leaders and activists for their tenacity and strength in pro-I advocacy on campuses. The Genesis Prize, sometimes referred to as the Jewish Noble. This award honors individuals for professional achievements and commitment to the values, which often includes public support or Hasbara for I. Media prizes, various pro-I organizations such as Honest Reporting track media coverage and occasionally highlight or award journalists they believe provide exceptionally fair or, in their view, biased coverage of I. Funding and scaling, 2025 budget. Approximately $115 million was allocated for public diplomacy, a 20-fold increase over previous years. 2026, roughly NIS $2.35 billion, or approximately $730 million, is planned for advocacy campaigns. Digital influence. Modern efforts include generative engine optimization, GEO, which involves seeding the web with content. And I'm going to show you a video after this, after we finish watching that, because James Lee has just done so much. Here, let's continue.
Of war. It's an instrument of defense. The thing that most embodies our entire ethos is not harming others. It's, again, creating a better world. This is fundamental to our tradition.
You see, it's the Arabs and the Muslim who have all these violent hate symbols in their flags. Israel, no, we represent Jews, and Jews represent peace. All the while, Israel has leveled Gaza over the last 2 years, killed hundreds of thousands of civilians based on many estimates, and also has killed more journalists to date than in any other war in history. Okay, I'll say this. They've laundered the Star of David, put it on their uniforms to do a genocide. That's what's really going on. Fifth pillar, missions.
That goes to exactly what I was saying, not separating church and state, but bringing it together intentionally, because it makes everybody feel better about what they're doing. It makes the military feel better about what they're doing, because they think they're representing the cause of God, right? I was going to say Christ, but they don't believe in Christ how we do. They actually believe the opposite, from what I heard. And I haven't seen this, but I've heard Ben Shapiro saying that he thinks Jesus is burning in hell for being blasphemous, and saying that he was like the fact that anybody would think that, it's just crazy. You know, I don't know. Obviously, everyone has their right to their own opinion, but yeah.
Missions. Pro-Israel activists say no tactic is more effective than bringing influencers and leaders to experience Israel firsthand to create that emotional connection and turn visitors into lifelong advocates. Just last month, Haaretz reported that Israel planned to fly 16 social media influencers who support Trump's MAGA and America First campaigns. Here are a few of them, allegedly, including Emily Wilson, aka Emily Saves America, who, by the way, has been getting dragged all over social media. So she posted this hilarious response, quote, "No one is paying me to be in Israel. In fact, I'm spending thousands of dollars to be here. I wanted to educate myself because I'm asked to speak on this topic on national news. If you guys are so passionate, maybe I suggest you go travel and go educate yourselves as well. You talk about propaganda from places you've never been to, and can't even point to on a map. I'm not going to comment on this further."
This is how much they think that we're dumb. We can't point on a map. What's up, Pixie? I think my dog wants to go out. I'm going to walk her out in a second. The thing is, they think that we can't point on a map. Do you know how many people know the geography they learned it in school? If you paid any little bit of attention in history or in geography, like, we're not stupid, you know? And because they might be, or they are, they think we are. And so they had to actually go there and look at the little airplane on the back of their airplane seat, probably flying on a private jet or first class, or maybe not, whatever, to see, oh, this is where we're going. Like, we're not that dumb, dude. I can point out every country on the entire planet. Or I could draw this map. So for them to think that and say this publicly shows their ignorance against us. Okay. I don't need to go to any other country to learn about their bullshit over there.
I'm pretty sure Emily Saves America we'll have to, maybe he's going to talk about it, or maybe I'll do research later if he doesn't, but I'm pretty sure she was exposed as one of the creators that was in that round table with Benjamin Netanyahu talking about Hasbro and all that. So if I think she's one of them. So her saying she wasn't paid to go over to Israel here, I actually think that's a lie. And I think we can catch her in that, or someone did catch her in that. So we will see. Yeah, so you're muted, buddy.
Let's get back to this. Sorry about that. I had to take the pup out. So yeah, this is clearly negligence on the behalf or arrogance, I guess I could say.
I'm thankful I have the ability to travel and do these things. I mean, I don't know. Let's just say she's telling the truth and not being paid to go. I'm actually not sure what's worse, right? Getting paid to go on a propaganda trip or paying yourself to be propagandized. Because come on, girl, if you want to take a pro-imperialist position, make sure you secure the bag first. First rule, come on. So where all this is headed is Israel turning up the dial on their destruction of Gaza and also prepping us for that next Israel-Iran showdown.
So now that he's shown that, I'm going to show you another one. He just got so much good content. I've got to show you. This one, this shows exactly what they're, and if you might have seen this before, because I am spreading this awareness. It's important that you know what's going on in your country. You must understand how this stuff works, because otherwise you might not realize it and it'll just happen to you and then you're not aware. All right.
Yeah, if you're not smart enough to be able to tell what this propaganda is that they're feeding you, then you are the target, you are the mark, you are the sheep, and you do not want to be the sheep because you're being led to slaughter, and you don't want to be led to slaughter. You want to you want to be the ones that are smart enough to know that, hey, they're trying to feed me some bullshit, excuse my language.
This is explaining, this is a video as of less than 2 weeks ago, 12 days ago, explaining now they've kicked it into overdrive.
So we're monitoring left-wing radicals like the DSA and the anti-war crazies and the pro-Palestine crazies. We're monitoring right-wing extremists like white supremacists, armed militia groups. We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them. And then we train.
Monitoring Christian nationalists. Why are you doing that if you're supposed to be working with Judeo-Christian values? Why? That's
the largest trainer of law enforcement in America, extremism hate. We train 20,000 officers every year.
Did he just say that being anti-war is crazy and then just straight follow that up by saying, don't act up because guess what? We also train the police. Jonathan Greenblatt, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, has just announced an all-out domestic war against critics of Israel. And no, this is not a conspiracy theory. He very much admitted to this on camera and laid out what I think can only be interpreted as a full-scale domestic spy operation.
We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts working full-time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, monitoring extremists. We monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency, podcasts, short-form video, Wikipedia, LLMs. We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI.
He's using the term extremists, but I think there's something that people need to understand about the ADL. And it is this: the Anti-Defamation League is Israel's attack dog in the United States. Posing as a civil rights group, the ADL has long operated as an intelligence organization targeting Israel's critics. According to this article from The Nation, for much of its history, the ADL has operated in the United States as if it were a hostile intelligence organization, which in essence it was. The organization's spy master was Erwin Sewell, who from the 1960s to 1997 ran his nationwide network of agents and informants from the ADL's New York City headquarters. As millions of dollars in donations flowed into the civil rights organization, tens of thousands of dollars flowed out to Sewell's clandestine operatives in the field, actively engaged in violating the civil rights of thousands of Americans. And which individuals or organizations did they target? They say it would eventually be discovered his network of spies secretly collected information on more than 12,000 individuals and more than 950 American religious, labor, peace, and human rights groups. His targets included the NAACP, the Rainbow Coalition, the ACLU, ACT UP, the American Indian Movement, Greenpeace, the Northern California Ecumenical Council, the United Farm Workers, reporters from the LA Times and KQED Public Television, and at least 8 Jewish peace groups, as well as an assortment of pro-Palestinian organizations. So a civil rights organization focused on combating anti-Semitism that spies on other civil rights organizations, including Jewish civil rights organizations, presumably, I'm guessing, the one they deem to be unfriendly to Israel.
I think that we have to do, like to quote Wayne Gretzky, is not go where the puck is, but where it's going. And this has been a big lesson really since 10/7 in part. So I can tell you, we have taken resources and redistributed it really towards the LLMs, towards generative AI. Folks, I got to tell you, how many of you used ChatGPT in the last week? Raise your hand.
Just so you know.
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and that's actually a big deal. They're targeting the large language models, which are the ChatGPTs, the Groks, the Claudes. They're targeting them now to whitewash our history and make it so they won't even tell you anything that they deem anti-Semitic. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Just so you know, look, they are doing this. All I'm going to say is this, is I build AI systems. Okay. I know how all this works. I build large language models that are unhackable. That's the best way I could say it, that don't have an agenda. If you really are concerned, reach out to me in email. It's not cheap. But if you want me to build you or sell you a license to an AI system that nobody can hack, that is not censored, and it's not public. I don't make this stuff public. I use it privately. But I also sell to large corporations and also entities that need stuff that like this. If you really want something that does not have influence like this, you need to email me and we can do business, because this is where we're headed. All right. I don't know if I'll make it public down the road and make a subscription, but I've already started to combat this myself. And there are companies that have recognized this. I'm in the middle of doing a deal with a large corporation for this very purpose.
I'll just tell you right now, like I'm sure many of you guys know, I use AI to help tailor my posts to be more algorithm friendly after I write them. And it's actually harder for me to even do my job how I do it now, because they've gotten so bad that they will refuse to even rewrite my post in the manner I want it to be written, because it's so sensitive. I mean, it's ridiculous. And
Absolutely.
that goes across the board. That goes with Claude. I've experienced it with ChatGPT. Is probably the worst. X or Grok was what I was using, but now they are starting to get almost as bad as ChatGPT. And Claude, you use Claude, I believe, right?
Yeah, I use Claude when I'm doing stuff online. The thing is, the reason, okay, I see
You've
people
noticed it with Claude too, right?
Oh yeah, all the time, absolutely.
So it's happening across the board. That's my point there. It's going to happen to all of them.
Listen, he said never use ChatGPT. I use DeepSeek. How far did we get?
Folks, I'm going to come back here in a year and you all need to raise your hand. ChatGPT is ground truth for the vast hundreds of millions of people. It has over 1 billion users. It's been around for like 2.5 years. So like marching in the streets is one thing we could do, but what I would rather do and where I'm investing is building the technology to train the LLMs more effectively and working with OpenAI, with Alphabet, with Anthropic, with Meta, with Microsoft. We are working with them now to train the LLMs. Heck, we're in conversations with Alibaba to train their LLM because the Chinese AI models are profound and potent and they're much more cost effective and they're spreading.
So the CEO.
So DeepSeek is not safe. Okay, Sunshine, I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just saying it's all of them. All right. The reason why I brought up what I do is because it's none of these things go to the cloud. It's called a local. I was telling him about this earlier today. It's called a local inference system. When you have LLMs, large language models, or AI agencies, and you're sending to and from a cloud, that data is compiled somewhere and it can be hacked, it could be analyzed, it could be harvested. So I personally own and build licensed local inference air gap technology that's military grade encryption for specific reasons. Okay. Read between the lines. So when you're working on an LLM and you're doing research, all of it, and yeah, I'm probably targeted by all these LLMs. So it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, I have an out because when it gets too tough, I just can do whatever I need to do to use my stuff. But just remember, every time you're using something that is connected to the internet, it goes out somewhere else and you don't know where it's going. I do. And what they're doing with it, you don't know. I do. And I'm telling you, you're not safe. You're just not. You will be targeted, whether they want to use it for good or bad or put you in a database or whatever. It is being used right now.
Of the Anti-Defamation League says that they are working with OpenAI, with Alphabet, with Anthropic, with Meta, even with Alibaba in China to train their LLMs to what? Well, take a look at this user. They said they asked Gemini to replace the portrait of Khomeini in this image with the Israeli flag, and it refused. However, it has no problems doing it for the US, British, and French flags. This is Gemini, Google's LLM, right? It says, replace this photo in this image with the Israeli flag, keep all else the same.
He shows it right here.
World.
Alexa, describe a French flag to me.
According to Wikipedia, the national flag of France is a tricolor feature.
Alexa, describe a Nigerian flag to me.
According to Wikipedia, the flag of Nigeria was designed by
Alexa, describe a Haitian flag to me.
According to Wikipedia, the flag of Haiti is a bicolor featuring
Alexa, describe a Palestinian flag to me.
Pause.
Sorry, this feature is not available.
All right, evidently Alexa can describe every single flag in the world except one. Probably just a coincidence. Right,
Pause
guys?
it for a second.
We're monitoring left-wing.
There's another video I saw. I'm not going to try to find it right now, because it'd probably take too much time. But there's another video I saw where someone took a picture of somebody holding an American flag, and they said, Grok or whatever. I think it was Grok. They're like, "Hey, Grok, change this out." Oh no, they were burning an American flag. That's what it was. They were burning an American flag, and they said, "Grok, change this out with an Israeli flag." And Grok said, "Sorry, I can't do that. I can't help you do that." But yet they said, change this out with, actually it wasn't an American flag. It was some other country's flag. I forget.
It was multiple other countries, I think.
Exactly. But they did it with every other country, including the US. But the thing is, when they asked them to change it out with Israeli's flag, that's the only one that it said, "Sorry, we can't help you do that."
Yeah, I've seen that as well. I think there might be one that I'll look for it.
Radicals.
And that's like that. This whole push and all these laws they're trying to pass to combat anti-Semitism. To me, that's all bullshit. That's putting somebody higher above yourself. That's putting them up on a pedestal. We already have anti-discrimination laws, very robust anti-discrimination laws in this country, which go against religion, which goes against sex, which go against race, which go against all that. We don't need we don't need laws that say, you can't discriminate only against this one type of person. Like that's just, to me in itself, it's racist. What they're doing with this anti-Semitism push is racist just in itself.
Yeah, it is. And they're pushing this down our throats, and it's for a reason. They're being paid to do this. All right. This all circles back. Remember where we started. We started with talking about Laurie Cardoza and her aggressive tactics with challenging Charlie Kirk, with his directives, giving him directives to do things as a donor. Like she should be telling him how to run his life. And if she thinks that she can say that to Charlie Kirk, then she believes that about every single person in her life. And it all stems back to this mindset that I'm showing you. All right. It is against the Constitution, as A. Fakaboyab says. Okay. They ultimately want to undermine the Constitution. All right. That's why it's this made up, and I believe this wholeheartedly, this Judeo-Christian value stuff is made up. Okay. It's just made up.
Like the DSA and the anti-war crazies and the pro-Palestine crazies. We're monitoring right-wing extremists like white supremacists,
pro-Palestine, like being pro-people. All right. Yeah, we're going to cut before Candace goes live. We're monitoring that, so don't worry. We're not going to eat into that.
Groups. We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them. And then we train. We're the largest trainer of law enforcement in America, extremism hate. We train 20,000 officers every year.
Did he just say that being anti-war is crazy and then just straight follow that up by saying...
So you've seen this now, right? I've shown enough of James Lee. We're not here to take his whole dialogue. But it's important to be aware of what's being discussed, all right? Because, again, if you're not, then you're out of the loop. There's a couple of investigations happening that I want to show you about regarding this lady, all right? So let me show you this real quick. Did you want to say something?
I was just saying, I just checked. Yeah, she does start at 4:30 today, not 5. So she starts in 15 minutes. He is correct.
We're going to cut it out right after in just a moment. I was trying to find that video, but maybe it got taken down or something. But Tennessee Speaker appoints conspiracy theorists to develop state social studies standards. This lady that we're talking about is in charge of book selection for students to my knowledge, in the United States and in Tennessee. Do you want somebody like this choosing your students' textbooks? Is that what we want? Tennessee House Speaker Cameron Sexton announced that he had appointed Laurie Cardoza-Moore to serve on the Tennessee Standards Recommendation Committee to oversee social studies materials being reviewed for use in classrooms statewide. Cardoza-Moore, known for holding extremist views and promoting conspiracy theories, has called U.S. history textbooks currently used in classrooms the greatest national security threat to the United States. What threat would that be? What threat would that be?
She's a psycho, man. That's all I could say is she's just a complete psychopath. And you want her nowhere near our children. The fact that she's even in control of that scares the living shit out of me.
She will have the power to submit final recommendations for social studies standards to the state board. The materials we'll be reviewing can only accomplish the mission of educating good American citizens if our Tennessee textbooks are devoid of left-aligned historic revisionism and the toxic material found in the anti-Semitic critical race theory, diversity, equity, and inclusion, social emotional learning, and ethnic studies. She's homeschooled her 5 children and has criticized the existing public school curriculum for exposing children to anti-Semitic, anti-American, anti-Judeo-Christian content in our public schools. Wow. This is Sexton appointed Cardoza to important positions shaping state educational standards. Despite her repeated embrace of conspiracy theories over the years, Cardoza-Moore has promoted claims that 9/11 was an inside job. That I can't discuss because there's all kinds of stuff with that. That the 2020 election was stolen from Trump and that January 6th insurrectionists were actually Antifa. In 2011, Cardoza-Moore claimed that former President Barack Obama was causing horrific tornadoes because he made a speech that discussed the plight of Palestinians. Asked if she still held these views, she did not respond. So this person, whether I agree or not with some of these other things, is besides the point.
And that's the thing is she's trying to weave in certain things that people like we do care about, like critical race theory in schools and DEI push, things that really do matter and are important. She's trying to tie her anti-Semitism and push to try to rewrite things the way she wants and the way Israel wants. She's trying to weave that into the same narrative to try to confuse people. And it's kind of like when Congress passes a big giant omnibus bill where they try to hide what their real motive is. She is in turn doing that same thing in Tennessee.
I'm going to do one last showing here because I had the AI work on some stuff while we were reading that. So this is showing, let me make it bigger and longer, and then we'll go off air. I'm going to read the super chats real quick. This will be like 5 minutes. So critical findings, organized filing of all of these foreign accusations within this. And I'll actually put this somewhere. If you want this, you can email me and I'll send it to you. But it explains smoking gun, conduct activities outside the U.S., makes grants to foreign organizations, has aggregate foreign expenditures exceeding X amount of dollars, maintains offices or employees in foreign countries. PJTN filed Schedule F in all 12 years. This is not occasional foreign activity. This is sustained foreign operations, grants, and awards to organizations and individuals related to the I country. Educational programs focused on I. Events and dinners to encourage Jewish and Christian faiths to unite and come to the defense of the nation of I. Curriculum review for anti-I bias. Programs to combat anti-Semitism in support of Israel. Their mission statement: to encourage Jewish and Christian faiths to unite together and come to the defense of the nation of I and combat their issues. Okay, and this is literally from their mission statement. All of this stuff. All right.
Talk to real quick. Let's get it. We only got a couple minutes, so let's talk about how it breaks laws. That like what they're doing. Isn't she breaking like laws?
Well. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you're a the thing is, it's the way the mission is framed, it's framing specifically what they're actually doing. So because it's framed that way, I can't speak to how the laws break down, but it needs to be under FARA. If it's
that's
not
what I
under
meant
FARA,
with FARA.
That's what it is that's where the laws are broken if it's not. And I haven't looked, but I haven't found it from what I have looked. I haven't looked deeply enough, but they've estimated $9.8 million of taxpayer subsidy is $2.9 million. So we've subsidized 30% of foreign government influenced 501c3 tax exempt status. So American taxpayers have subsidized an organization whose mission is the defense of another country. Okay. So the concerns are if anyone is acting as an agent of foreign principal, they need to register with the DOJ, disclose their relationship and activities, and label these materials that they're on behalf of a foreign agent or principal. Let's get into super chats.
Yep.
Ivan, good to have you, bro. Thanks so much. The one and only OG Danks. I appreciate you. New member, Moon Goddess, welcome. Live streams go on private after 72 hours. Thank you, GG Florida, new member. Ivan, looks like he upgraded his membership. We got a gifted. Say thanks to Carrie. Against Better Judgment, thank you for the $5 super chat. Great work as always. Ivan again with another super chat. Found you on the new site. Go Max. Ivan gifted 5 memberships to Project Constitution. Nice, bro. Get that channel popping.
Thank you. Thank you.
Project Constitution without an N on YouTube. That's where he is at right now. We've got Annie Randall wanted me to both. Please read. Okay, both of us, please read my urgent email. TP's. What does that say? TP's MHC tour. Next Nashville Orlando stops. Use Reverend Proc 2628 to cloak vendor payouts to Hoffman, Sheridan, Shells. That's perfect for me. Thank you. It's a capital liquidation hidden in plain sight. All right.
Definitely.
I'll look at that, Annie. Thank you. That is why Tim Pool is making so much content about Candace and I. Thank you, Jamie, for the
big
$10
time.
super chat.
Absolutely.
And then more $5 Constitution memberships. What's up, bro? You're getting those
Thank you,
memberships
Ed
rolling.
Franks.
Thank you. And we've got even Evangeline Bellamy. Thank you for the new membership. We appreciate all of you. Look, this stuff is important. The reason why we bring this up is not to just attack somebody, but it's to raise awareness about how people are conducting themselves in the United States with American taxpayer dollars. That's it. Bring truth. Truth over drama. That's all I'm about. All right. So.
And also, we want to show how all these people are doing the same stuff as Turning Point with their nonprofits, all this shady stuff, all this financial stuff. We need to clean house across the board with these people, expose them all. You know, what they're doing is immoral and not necessarily illegal. A lot of things they're doing, but it's immoral. But the FARA thing is definitely, she needs to register as a FARA agent. And in my opinion, Turning Point needs to register as a foreign agent as well. But, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Absolutely. So you can find we're scrolling down there. You can follow us there. Thank you for all you do from Against Better Judgment. Please keep up the amazing work and keep getting this info out there. You guys rock. I'll go over and follow the new channel. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
And with that, I guess we'll end it there for today. Great stream as always. Thank you all for joining us. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Anything else you got to say, Danks?
That's it. Just stay on your toes. Pay attention to what's going on. We're not saying that all of these things that are happening are illegal, but we are saying that you need to be aware of what's happening within the political atmosphere because it's happening faster than you might think. You might wake up one day and things are going to be completely different. You didn't realize it changed. So just pay attention. And being here is a great start or a great part of paying attention. So thank you for being here. Your support goes exactly where it needs to for us to continue doing what we need to do in order to spread God's word and in order to spread the truth about what's happening in this country. God bless America. God bless you. God bless you. Project Constitution, thanks for being with me here. Love you all as well. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
And I'm going to everybody go over to Candace's live stream. She's going live right now in about 3 minutes. I just dropped her link in the chat. Make sure you guys go over there. And we'll see you over there. I'll be in the chat.
Yep. Let her know that you came from Danks and Constitution. That would be much appreciated. And we'll see y'all over there. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
God bless.
Thanks, Constitution. All right. God bless. Peace.